Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Experience Kills. I am your host Ben and with me today is Rob.
Hello everyone.
And today we are going to be talking about a game that just oozes infectious excitement. Honestly, I'm struggling not to just shout at you the name of the game because on the title screen for this game it does this thing with this funky tune music and then it's Cook, Serve, Delicious 3. You know, it's just... It has this way of presenting itself that is really inviting and pulls you into it. And this is, you know, strangely enough, the third installment of the Cook, Serve, Delicious franchise of series of games, which for some reason I love. But when I think about the kind of games I enjoy, I can't really tell you why I love them. I really can't. It's so weird, Rob. Have you ever come across a Cook, Serve, Delicious game before today?
Never. The closest I've come is Overcooked, which... That's the only kind of food-related game that I've come across, but I have a very bad feeling I'm going to be very hungry by the time this review has finished.
So unlike Overcooked, which is very cartoony, Cook, Serve, Delicious' visual style actually represents the food incredibly accurately, and it all looks delicious all the time. Oh my god, it looks so good. I was playing it yesterday before my tea, and I got so hungry playing this game. So basically... Cook, Serve, Delicious is kind of like a puzzle game. It's kind of what I would call like a stress management game. Kind of, you mentioned Overcooked, and that deals with that sort of stress kind of running around aspect of a cooking game as well. And that, in a way, is what a lot of cooking games do sort of boil down to. The idea of timings and accurately, putting ingredients into some form of mix that then comes out in a way that then makes the customer happy, which is what Cook, Serve, Delicious is all about. And the way that works in Cook, Serve, Delicious, instead of physically moving between stations and picking things up and putting them in, you're just doing it with button prompts, right? So it's like A through Y on the face buttons, and then like the shift buttons will be your shift inputs would be the left and the right trigger, for example, and then maybe you're paging through things with B, but then you've got orders on the left vertical like this, which you're selecting with X, and then you've got orders on the top, which you're also selecting with Y, and it's juggling.
Oh god.
It's juggling, it's spinning plates, it's juggling all the time, constantly going at 100 miles an hour, just trying to be, in addition to doing that, you're obviously trying to read the orders correctly, making sure you put the ingredients in that have been specified by the customer, because they could be ordering off menu, or they could be ordering options that are different to the basic options for that particular dish. It's a million things all at once, and obviously you've got to get that thing off the cooker. It's going to burn. If it burns, it's ruined. You're going to have to do it again. And then if you're waiting longer, the customer's going to be unhappy. And if the customer's unhappy, they're going to leave, and you're not going to get paid, and you're going to get a bad rating, and you won't do, oh my god, the food truck is going to burn down, and nobody's going to love me, and I'm going to die alone. And that's Cook, Serve, Delicious.
See, this is why I cook for fun and not in a commercial kitchen. That sounds like hell.
It is hell. It is hell. But I think that's where these guys at Vertigo really get it, because they know that this is stressful, and this is the core of their game is really intense and challenging in so many ways, because obviously you build up to it. You start on simple things and you move through more complex dishes and stuff like that. But they also know that if it was all very dour and serious, there'd be no fun here. Right? So they wrap it in this ridiculous narrative. In Cook, Serve, Delicious 3, we're in a situation where the Cook, Serve, Delicious restaurant has literally been blown up in a terrorist attack. And now, and we're sort of in a post-apocalyptic world as well, where the United States are fractured, and you're going to bring people together through the beauty of your food, and you're going to travel around in a food truck. I can see you laughing. It is ridiculous. But the great thing is about the food truck concept is that you kind of have a lot of freedom to make the menu exactly what you want. So you're picking the dishes that you want to include on the day. There's a few caveats, usually a few sort of restrictions or guidelines as to what you need to pick, but you still have a lot of freedom, and you get plenty of this currency to buy new menu items. So I was constantly buying stuff, trying it, going, I don't like cooking this, is too fiddly, I don't like that process, so I dropped that from my menu and I'd add something else in. And do you want to be just the breakfast food truck? Sure. Do you want to just do different types of donuts? Feel free. Do you want to do a mixture of European, Afro-American cuisine? Go for it. So you can have this kind of crazy combinations of food, and they're all real dishes from around the world that some you'll recognize and some you won't, and they're actually quite detailed if you want to look into them, and it'll tell you what's in them. And then the actual gameplay, like I mentioned, is when you're putting the meal together, you know, there'll be an order that comes in, and then you're picking the elements in the right order normally. So it might be, you know, listed A, B, X, Y, but actually you need to go X, A, X, Y, B, or something as how you have to add them in. And, you know, it could be something like that. And then it's served up. But you know what? There's added extras here. So the customer actually wants it with extra cinnamon on top, with some raisins on the side, you know, so you got to put those bits on as well. And, you know, it all affects your rating, and it all affects how much money you make. And yeah, it's crazy. There's one really nice feature that I used a lot. I'm not going to deny this. I use this a lot in my gameplay, and you'll see it in the videos. I played it in chill mode. So every time you start a day, you can play it in chill mode. And what that does, it changes one thing, and it's very important, and it changes the customer's unhappiness, like their time constraint of how quickly they need the order. And that takes all of that pressure off. So you can just learn the dish, you can take your time to put it together, it's not making you rush. Obviously that kind of, in a way, takes out a core element of the gameplay. You know, it removes that pressure. The game is all about the pressure. So if you take that away, it does make it a lot easier. But it also gives you a chance to kind of ramp yourself up comfortably into the experience and not throw yourself in the deep end and just bounce off of it because it's so torturous. Because there is so much freedom in those menus you can create. You do have an option, by the way, to test make every meal before you buy it and before you put it on the menu, so you have an idea. But, you know, it also means if you play it in chill mode, you can just sort of experience the game without that huge pressure factor, but still enjoy the story, enjoy the silliness. It means you can only get like up to a silver ranking for each day, which will start to gate your progress, because you do need to have so many medals to move on through the game and through the story and stuff. But I hadn't hit too much in the walls like that. I always then I could go back to really early stuff and get golds, and you know, you can balance it all out that way. But it's at its core, it's a game that, you know, it's in love with the food. It absolutely adores the food. You can tell from how high quality of the renders on all of the food. And then it's just this frantic puzzle gameplay, which I've frankly never experienced in any other game quite like it, because the interface is so simple, but at the same time so complex, because it's using every single button on the controller. Everything is doing something, and often, like I said, there'll be shift functions. So there'll be times when B does that, but other times B does this, and you know, depending on the button press, and you're constantly, you're trying to quickly read something, you're trying to input it in order, you're then trying to remember to take it off the cooker, you go then serve it to the customer, you're usually juggling, you're cooking like multiple things all at once. So you'll be doing like batch cooking, so you can batch cook a bunch of like the base elements, say a fried dish, and then you'll get the customers come in. And what I was doing in Enjoy was pancakes. You batch cook the pancakes is a good example, and the customer comes up and goes, I want pancakes with blueberries, so you have to serve them with the blueberries, or maple, or strawberry, or you know, various other options, or with ice cream, you know. So that's then going out per order, and all of it looks so delicious. Oh my god, I want it all. What do you think about that, Rob? I've been talking at 100 miles an hour because this game makes me want to do that, because this game goes at 100 miles an hour all the time.
It looks like an absolutely insane game. I mean, in the trailer they have posted on Steam for it, you can get hacked, you can get shot at. Like, Overcooked and cooking games like it are many things. Stressful, fast-paced, it is one of them. Same with Cook Serve Delicious. But apparently, gunfire and FBI hackers are not a modifier I thought were going to be a thing.
So this is all because of this insane setting that they've put Cook Serve Delicious 3 in. It's like, do you know what? People were finding Cook Serve Delicious 2 just too easy. We need to think of a way of stepping this up to another level, and that is what they've done, and it is crazy and bonkers. And you have these two like robot compatriots that are like with you on this journey, and I believe they're voiced by influencers of some kind, because they've both got like when they're on their credits on the website, it's like at someone I've never heard of and at someone else I've never heard of.
That's two very related Twitter handles that sound quite obvious, or quite weird there.
You know what I mean. So basically I was like, I clearly this means something to someone, but it doesn't mean anything to me. So I was like, fine, I'm sure but they're very good, they're very funny, they're very witty, they've got very distinct personalities, and they'll often be quite sarcastic with you and mock you and give you give you nice things as well. But in addition to all this, you can customize your food truck. You can put stuff on the, paint it in different ways, make it look different, have different like things on the inside and different customization options. It doesn't really make any difference to the gameplay, but it gives you a little bit more of investment in the story stuff. But at its core, that Cook Serve Delicious gameplay, is for the most part unchanged. That there's new menu options. There's a lot more flexibility in the menu now because of the food truck setup. But that gameplay of just juggling all the buttons on the controller all at once within a time constraint, within the pressures of all the ordering systems and stuff like that, it's the same it's always been, and it's frantic and exciting, and you come away sweating and you come away with your eyes bleeding because you've not blinked for 20 minutes, and it's just strange, but at the end of the day, loads of fun. Like, so much fun. So weird, but so much fun. And I don't know why I love it so much, but I do.
I mean, I think this is the first time I've heard bleeding eyeballs as a positive for a game. So they've got that going for them, at least.
You know about bleeding eyeballs. When you're staring at the screen playing Destiny on a hard raid boss or something, you know how it is. You can't blink. There's no time to blink, Rob.
There's always time to blink.
Nah, there's no time to blink, because that's when you need to hit that shot. And in this case, that's when you need to make sure that maple syrup is on those pancakes. Otherwise, that customer's not going to be happy. You can't have that. You've got a reputation to uphold. You're the Cook Serve Delicious chef. You've got to do it.
For some reason, I now want pancakes.
I really want pancakes too, man. It's too late for breakfast, damn it. Yeah, any other thoughts or questions on Cook Serve Delicious 3?
It looks hilariously stressful. It really does. I'm not sure I'm going to volunteer myself for that stress, but I might be persuaded.
Well, if you can pop over at some point when we're not Corona Land, there is a local co-op mode, and maybe we can have a go at that.
Perfect.
Awesome. So until next time, that's been another episode of Experience Kills, in which we were talking about Cook Serve Delicious 3 by Vertigo Gaming. It's a complete hoot, stress fest, but I love it. Please come back for more and give us a like and subscribe on that YouTube video. You can find us at Experience Kills on Twitter. You can find me at DIYE. You can find Rob at Homeless Mr. Gibbs. Check out the audio version of this on Spotify, iTunes, and anywhere a good podcast can be found if you don't have time to watch the video. But to be honest, this is a good video to watch. If you've never heard of Cook Serve Delicious before, you kind of need to see it in action to get it. It's really unique, and the food is so tasty. So until next time, Rob, I think we need to go and get some food. Yeah, I am hungry.
Yep. McDonald's.
Let's do it.
Excellent.